said, we're just going to talk about a tough opener there for the LSC. Is it just a kind of a case of sometimes they're going to hit shots no matter what you're doing?
They hit some shots, and they're a good team. I think they're 7-5 now, maybe a game or two over 500. And they made some plays that we didn't, and then there was a few calls that were a little bit questionable. But it was a tough game for us. I thought our guys had good effort all the way through, and we just came up a little bit short in that first one at Fort Smith. And it's tough when you travel to, it's 7.5 hours away, and you get an 8 o'clock practice the night before and turn around and play at 4 o'clock the next day. So, a lot of things are stacked up against you, but to be a great team, you got to go win games on the road, and hopefully we can learn from it. And I think we did. I think our guys played really hard again the next night. I don't think we played any harder the next night than we did the night before, and I think Oklahoma Christian's a very good team as well. But things just kind of went our way and that night, and we played really well. So looking forward to getting back home Thursday, Saturday with Commerce and Tyler coming into town.
Talking about Commerce, what can you expect from them?
Well, Commerce, I just started watching them because we just got back late last night. From our trip, I think we got home around 11:30, something like that. And so was watching them a little bit this morning. They are very good. They're big. They're long. They got a couple guys shooting over 40% from three. They'll be in the top 25 when the rankings come out this week. And I think Tyler will be in the top 25 when the rankings come out this week. Both teams have fewer losses than us. I think they both have one loss. And, these are two really good teams. It's nice to be at home. That helps us a little bit, but you still got to go out and you got to prove it, you got to earn it. And these will be two very tough games for us this weekend. But that's the LSC. Every weekend you're going to go on the road. Whether you go on the road or at home, you're going to have some tough games. But they just beat DBU, who was, I thought one of the better teams in the league this year, and I still think they're very good, but they're struggling a little bit. And they're struggling because they played some tough teams in Commerce and Tyler and some others.
You kind of mentioned, you guys bounced back in a big way. Did you have to really even say much, or was the team just like, okay, that's on us, let's jump into it this next game?
A little bit, yes and no, but, we don't have any seniors, and we have 2 juniors, and the rest are freshmen and sophomores. So we have 13 freshmen and sophomores. And sometimes the inexperience can get you a little bit, especially on the road. And then our 2 juniors, we only have 2 juniors, no seniors, and the rest are freshmen and sophomores. And the 2 juniors, Julius Brown and Dalen Williams are both transfers, so they haven't been with us very long, so they don't know the expectations. Both great kids, both good leaders by example, but not real verbal. And so we're still looking for some guys to step up a little bit, to take on some leadership roles. And we're hoping, my goal always is 15 guys, 15 players be leaders. Be accountable for yourself, and then also be accountable for others. And we're getting there. It just takes time, and we're still kind of finding ourselves a little bit offensively and defensively, but I think we'll have some guys stepping up, and I think they do. I think they're trying to. They just have to continue, and it's a process. My son says, trust the process. Well, you got to trust the process here too, and hopefully they'll continue to grow as players, students, and as young men.
What was it like to see them grow between that game and that second game? You get 5 guys that had double digits? That's pretty great.
Yeah, we didn't feed them for 24 hours, and so we fed them and we took care of them. And we actually had individual meetings with them too on the ride over, and we talked as a team, and we had a good hard practice. Shoot around was a good focus, and they had focus all the way through. Sometimes I think you lose a little focus. I think we had a 8 or 9 game winning streak, and maybe we were just a little bit too casual. But again, you don't play well, you can get beat. And I'd love to play Fort Smith tomorrow. I really would. I'd love to play them anywhere tomorrow and go at them again, but it's not going to happen. We only play them once. We might get them in the conference tournament. We might get them in the regional. You just never know. And so there's a lot of basketball to be played, but yet it's also going to come really quick. We're already into January. We have January, February, and then March is basically the playoffs. So you got to got to keep progressing. We're playing a lot of guys. We're still trying to figure out some rotations, but we've got a great group of guys, and I have high expectations for this group.
You talked about your youth and your experience. Who are some of those guys that you think have made bigger gains since the beginning of the season?
Well, I thought a guy that like Jesse Aweezy, who's been in the starting role and then didn't play much and then played really well against Oklahoma Christian. I think Kavan Booker, who's only, I think he's 20 years old. I'm not even sure. I probably don't even know if I can mention age, but he's very young for his grade. And he's been with us for 3 years, but he's just started playing basketball in 9th grade. Got cut from his JV team, I think, and so he's still progressing. But yet he had a great game against Oklahoma Christian. The effort was there, and just played really well. Addison Wallace, who he's been around a little bit, but he's a newcomer to our team, and he's really taking some steps in the right direction. And there's others. There's other guys, and even the guys, like a Jonas Carlisle, JT Warren, maybe some guys that aren't getting a ton of minutes, when they really play hard in practice and they know what they're doing in practice, it gets everybody better and it also gets them better. And so that's where I think, we had a conversation about it. And I'll tell you what, those guys in practice, we had great practices after that loss. Well, then we also talked about that. Hey, we don't want to have great practices just after a loss. Let's have them all the time. And it's that mentality. And it's hard to always play at a high level. And just like we were talking before the cameras were on, it's when you're the number 3 team in the country, teams are coming after you. And one of the best programs in the country the last 4 or 5 years, teams are coming after you. And I'll guarantee you Commerce is coming after us because we've kind of had their number here the last few games. And Tyler, with a new coach to Division II, and Coach Wilson, and he does a great job with his crew, they're coming after us. And they're going to have high expectations. They're going to have a lot of confidence because they're playing well. Just watching a little bit on film, they're playing really well, both teams. So again, it's going to be a tough weekend for us, but a lot of fun. I'm hoping to get as many community members as possible. It really makes a difference. Students aren't around yet, but maybe some students will be back. You just never know. But hopefully we continue to grow the attendance because it makes a big difference. Fort Smith didn't have very many people there, but it does make a difference because you can hear a few of those people really getting after officials and our guys, and sometimes they even yell at me. So it's kind of fun when you have that at your home gym going against the opposing team.